Hi everyone, this is Nick and welcome back to the ASUS North America YouTube channel. Today we're going to take a look at two of ASUS's new entries into the Chromebook market. So Chromebooks have been out for a little while now. These are ASUS's first two Chromebooks. So you can see right in front of me we have a smaller and a larger model. The smaller one is a C200 and the other one is a C300. So they're 11.6 inches and 13.3 inches respectively. So one of the really cool things about these two brand new models are that they are running Intel's newest Bay Trail M processors, the N2830. So what's that going to mean for you? You're going to get that really good Intel performance when you're going to go do all those flash games and flash sites and HTML5 sites, as well as get great battery life. So the 11.6 inch one, the C200, will come in at around 11 hours battery life, and then the 13.3 inch C300 will come in around 10 hours of battery life. Both of these, of course, run Chrome OS. So if you're not familiar with that, Chrome OS is an operating system developed by Google to be super lightweight and to allow you to basically do everything within your browser. So one of the cool features about Chrome OS is that you're constantly getting updates from Google. So as Google adds new features or determines that they want to do something differently, you're automatically going to get that benefit. It's automatically going to update. So one of the very recent updates that they've done is offline mode for Google Play Movies. So if you have your movies on Google Play that you've purchased or rented, you can go ahead and download them locally onto your Chromebook so that you can take them on the go when you don't have Wi-Fi, whether you're on a plane or a road trip. You can go ahead and get that locally and you don't have to rely on the internet, even though this is a web browser-based operating system. So really cool stuff from Google, two really cool laptops. Let's take a little bit closer look at the specs of these laptops. Okay, so let's take a look at the specs of these two, which is going to be made a little bit easier on me because, believe it or not, they both have the exact same specs except for the size of the screen. So starting on both of these units, we have the front webcam, 720p, so you can go ahead and do your HD Hangouts or any other kind of video through the web webcam that'll access a plugin for your webcam. So you can get really good high quality video. Of course, one thing that you're going to need for that is good Wi-Fi. So on both these models, you have 802.11n and all the way backwards, dual band. So you can go on your 2.4 gigahertz network or your 5 gigahertz network. And the chips inside are actually 802.11ac. So if you're not familiar with that, 802.11ac is the brand new networking standard. It's about 3 times faster than 802.11n. The drivers for Chrome OS are not out at the time of the making of this video, but they should be out by the third quarter of 2014. So you should be seeing 802.11ac drivers soon on top of that, and you're going to get an even faster web browsing experience. Moving on spec-wise, the next thing we see is the screen on both of these. So as we said earlier, we have the C200, we have an 11.6 inch screen. The C300, we have a 13.3 inch screen. They are both 1366 by 768 resolution. So you can go ahead and at least get your 720p HD videos, whether you're doing Netflix or Hulu or any type of other video streaming services, you're going to get HD quality from it. Okay, so both models are coming with 2 gigs of memory. Both are going to come with 16 gigs of local storage, so you can go ahead and save your files locally to the system. And then the last spec we can go over is the touchpad. So on a lot of the Chromebook, the touchpads have not been exceptionally large. ASUS has made a concerted effort to make these the largest in its class. So you're going to have a nice, wide, comfortable touchpad. Whether you have big fingers or small fingers, it should work for everybody. So let's take a look at one of the last remaining physical features on these, and that'll be the ports, the IOs on the outsides. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the ports on these bad boys. So C200 and C300, like we mentioned earlier, are going to have exact same specs. So the ports will actually be the same between them as well. So let's go ahead and take the C200 just as an example to go ahead and show you the ports. When you're facing the system on the right side of the system is where we'll start. We'll see the first port that you have here is actually a Kensington lock. So if you need the ability to go ahead and lock down the Chromebook against theft or whatever else, you can go ahead and use the Kensington lock here on that back corner. Right next to it, you have a USB 2.0 port, so you can go ahead and use USB peripherals along with this. Whether you want to add in your own extra mouse or anything else, you can go ahead and plug that in here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other side now. So remember, the C300 is exactly the same. So on the other side here, we have the power input. So of course, this comes with the charger. You go ahead and plug that in here when you need to go ahead and recharge a thing, which hopefully should not be too often, since you do get an 11-hour battery life on the C200 model here. So right next to it here, we can see that we have an HDMI port, so you can go ahead and output to larger screens and TVs or monitors as well. So you can add more productivity in your usage of the Chromebook. And then right next to it here, we have a USB 3.0 port, so that is the super speed USB, so you can get faster file transfers if you want to go ahead and put in like a USB 3 USB stick in there, of course. Next to it here, we have a memory card reader, so you can go ahead and put in your memory cards, access your media that you've taken, whether it's with your camera or other devices. And then lastly here on the end, we have a combo jack. So for those 3.5mm jacks, you can use either a microphone or a headphone. It can go in or out. You get the best of both worlds with that single port. So now that we've taken a look at some of the ports, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Okay, so I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video on ASUS's first set of Chromebooks, the C200 and the C300. Both systems are going to give you great battery life, letting you go most of the day running off that single charge. Very portable, the C200 coming in at 2.5 pounds, the C300 coming in at 3.1 pounds. And both actually have really good external audio. That was one of the things that ASUS, that we noticed here on existing options for Chromebooks, was that you couldn't really have great audio that you can enjoy watching out in the open. So up to 80 decibels on the speakers on both of these models. And then guess what? One of the biggest things is that both of these come in at the same price. They both start at $249.99. So spec-wise, you're getting pretty much the exact same thing except for the size of the screen, and you can go ahead and decide which one is best for you. So this is Nick with ASUS, and we'll see you next time.